Good morning. I know it's December 26th and you're trying to wake up this morning. Getting the holiday fog maybe is getting that out of your brain. Well, listen, as you're waking up this morning, I want to challenge you to look back before you look forward. And here's what I mean by that. The end of the year reflections can be powerful. Looking at lessons learned, things that have happened over the past year, but also how do you carry momentum forward into the new year? So I encourage you, whether it's today, whether it's this morning or this afternoon or this week, spend some time in self reflection. And I'm going to give you in just a moment the questions that will help guide that exercise. So grab a pen and paper, or if you're still grabbing your morning coffee and it's early, then at least screen capture these with your phone or your computer and go back and answer them later. But the idea here is you've got a few days left. How are you going to close 2022 strong and start 2023 even stronger? Now, for those of you who have been on these lives the last couple of weeks, you know I've said we're doing some self-reflection, but to get your 2023 started right, we're going to do goal setting, and I'm going to teach you the Power of Three framework in our community. You've got to go to changingeverything.me to be in our community because that's what we're doing together. We're changing everything for you in your career. So go to changingeverything.me. You want to be in our community. So when we start teaching success habits for 2023, you are in our community and you're getting the benefit of that training, that coaching, and teaching. All right, let's jump in. I want to share with you 10 powerful questions that'll help you guide this exercise in self-reflection that I want you to do this week. Number one, what are your biggest successes of the past year? Curious for you guys to tell me what that looks like. Because as we often talk about in this course, and I'm going to bring myself on screen here while we're talking, you got to love the power of live streaming software that I can just bring myself on screen while we're talking. Okay, there we go. What are the biggest successes of the past year? You guys know I'm very big on tracking wins, small wins as well as big wins. That's how you gain momentum, but that's also how you gain clarity into what works and what doesn't. So, what are your biggest successes of the past year? Number two, what are the areas where you've experienced the most growth or development? This is not an answer that depends on your work in terms of you accomplished this amount of sales or you helped this many customers. This is about your personal growth and development. And what areas have you experienced the most growth and development? Number three, are there any lessons that this past year has taught me? Wow, that's a powerful question. As we've talked about in these videos before, mistakes are repeatable. Lessons learned are not repeatable because you learn the lesson and you move on. So I'm very big on coaching and training you with lessons learned because you learn the lesson and move on. So I believe that you need to sit for some time and look at the lessons you've learned. Lessons learned is a look back, look forward exercise that everybody needs to get in the habit of doing. I've told you guys the past couple of weeks, I do it every Sunday night. I sit and review the past week. What lessons have I learned? What worked well? What didn't? Then I look forward to the next week. What worked? What worked well? What didn't work well? And what can I carry forward? Number four, you all know I started 2022 with this question. I'm going to end 2022 with this question. Did you manage your focus or your time? If you managed your focus, then you were productive and you got more things done well beyond what you expected. If you managed your time, you're likely frustrated, and that to-do list that's been staring at you since I last asked you that question in January is probably still staring at you. Because you need to learn to manage your focus, not your time. And again, I'm going to teach managing focus and time and the power of three in the community, but you got to go to changingeverything.me there at the bottom of the screen. Changingeverything.me is where you want to be able to get in our community. And that is where we're going to teach you how to truly reclaim your focus, to manage your focus, not your time. All right, if you're writing these down, I'm getting ready to switch screens, so grab these very quickly or at least take a picture with your phone. Number 5, what are you most proud of accomplishing in this last year? Let's celebrate those wins and celebrate progress. It is about progress every day, not perfection. So, what are you most proud of this year? I'm going to be curious to hear if some of you put some comments in the chat about that one. Let's jump over to the next 5. I love number 6. What can you do differently in the coming year to make it even better? What momentum have you established in 2022 that you can now carry into 2023? That's what this is doing. What can you do differently to make it even better? You need to figure out what your success habits are, that if you were successful, if you do have those accomplishments, you're looking back on the past year, that you're carrying those forward. And what ways have you grown as a person or a professional? Wow. In what ways have you grown as a person or a professional? Well, I'll tell you an example that just hit me last night when I was preparing these questions, that over the past month, I feel like I've grown tremendously for one reason. I usually get up in the morning. I have a morning routine. It is a very successful morning routine for me, but I added one element about a month ago. I usually get up every morning and watch the political news because most of you know I'm a lobbyist in DC, but I actually am now taking a 20-minute break out of watching the news, and I am getting up in the mornings while I'm getting ready, and I'm listening to a sermon or a motivational speech by another coach or another coach's training to get my intention right for the day, to set a positive intention for the day. And can I tell you what a game changer that has been in terms of my own growth over the past month, that I'm now waking up, putting on something that is going to inspire me for the day and make sure that I have the most incredible day I can have. And that has been a game changer for me. So how have you grown personally and professionally? That's just one way. There are many ways. That's just one. But I share that because some of you have asked me, what is your morning routine? What do I do in the morning? Some of you have asked me, hey, do you share motivational quotes with people? I do. That's the other thing I do when I get up in the morning is I send text to people with motivational quotes. Those are ways that I'm helping others grow while I'm also growing myself. Number 8, how did you find balance or joy throughout the year? And I saw this one and I probably should have said, did you find balance and joy throughout the year? That's going to be tough for some of you to answer. Number 9, what relationships did you strengthen or develop this past year, and how can you nurture these further? And we talked about a few weeks ago, relationships are just that. They're meant to be relational. Seek a connection. Do not be transactional. If you've been transactional in your relationships and you wonder why people aren't connecting with you, keeping up with you, if you wonder why your network's not growing, then commit in 2023 that you're going to move from be a transactional person to a relational person. Establish true connection with people, not for what they can do for you, but because you genuinely want to connect with them. That is the power of relationships. Number 10, this is probably my favorite. In what ways did you challenge yourself this year, and how can you continue to push your boundaries? And let me just take that one step further. If you did not challenge yourself this year, then I'm going to encourage you to do so in 2023. How do you continue to push those boundaries, friends? How are you pushing yourself? How are you challenging yourself every day? We grow in moments of challenge. We grow in moments of change. How are you pushing yourself to find that change and that balance in 20? And listen, I get it. It's the Monday after Christmas and you're going, whoa, where did all this come from? If you're watching this with me this morning, I'm going to encourage you to go through these questions. But if you watch this on the replay, that's okay. There's no time limit to self-reflection. That is the beautiful part about this. Do this week. I'm going to see who's joining me over here. So do this week. Make sure that you are doing your self-reflection, that you're ready to move forward, but in order to do so, look back. What lessons have you learned? What challenges did you go through? What success habits did you establish in 2022 that you can now bring forward into 2023? That's my question for you this morning. That's the challenge, if you will, that I leave you with this week. Watch us on the replay. Go back and answer those 10 questions because those are the most powerful 10 questions that will help you bridge the gap from 2022 to 2023. I know there's some people here joining me this morning. I'm going to hop over into the chat, spend some time with you guys answering your questions. Thank you for being here. You've got a few days left, guys. How are you going to close 2022 strong?